Hello friend, I welcome you to my channel Laser Graphics and Multimedia, and in today's video you are going to learn how to make creative corporate roll-up banner in roll-up banner. The first thing to do is to go to File and make sure you click on New. Then you have to come to your setting right here, and from the title right here, make sure you type in corporate roll-up banner. Okay, so you have to come here and make sure you change from pixel to inches. Then you have to change the width size to another figure, which is 13.944. Then you have to come to the height and type in 32.806. Then you have to come to color mode right here. Make sure you change from RGB to CMYK. Then you have to come down below right here and make sure you click on create. So the next thing you want to do right here is to go to your toolbar, click and hold down. Make sure you choose your pen tools. Then from the property here, make sure no stroke color and make sure color fill. And make sure right here you choose shape. Then you can come to the workspace right here and make some part. So I'm going to click from the point right here. I will press shift key and I will make another part. I'll press shift key and make another part here also. Then I'll press shift key and make another part. Then I have to make some bend here, and then I'll press shift key and make another part like this. Control plus just to zoom out, control plus to zoom out, control plus to zoom out. So I have to come down here and make sure I close the part here. Boom. So we have that shape. Okay. So I'm going to press Control minus to zoom in, Control minus to zoom in. So what I'm going to do next is that I'll have to go to my move tool right here. Then I'll select this particular shape. I'll come to the layer panel right here. I'm going to right click and I will look for duplicate layer. Then I'm going to make this 2, shape 2, and I'm going to click on OK. So this shape 2 right here, I'm going to press Ctrl T on my keyboard. Then having pressed Ctrl T, I'll have to right click on the duplicate, and I'm going to flip to vertical. So having flipped to the vertical, I will have to take it down a little. Then I will make sure I right click again. I will flip to horizontal. So you have it this way. Okay. Then I'll have to come here and make sure I click on this check mark. So what I'm going to do next is that I will go to my home tab right here. I'll go to select. I will click on all. So having select all, I will make sure I snap to this side. Then I'll go back to select and I'll make sure I choose the select. So I have it this way. Okay. So what I'm going to do next is to come back to layer panel. I will right click on the layer panel here and I will look for duplicate layer again. I will make this third shape, and I'll click on OK. This third shape here, I will make sure I hide the layer because I don't need it now. I'll press Ctrl minus to zoom in. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is to select this particular fourth shape. Then I will drag it up a little bit. Okay. Then I will have to select my second shape. Then I will have to drag it up a little bit also. Then I'll have to look for this particular layer right here, and then my layer, shape layer, shape 2. I'll come to the layer panel, duplicate layer. So I'm going to call this shape 4 and hit on OK. This shape 4, I'm going to take it to the top right here. Okay, it's going to stay at the top right here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to make sure I fall back on my first shape right here. Then the first shape right here, I'll come to the layer panel. I'll make sure I go to duplicate layer again. So this is going to be fifth shape. Then I'm going to click on OK. So the fifth shape, I'm going to double click on the layer thumbnail. I will make sure I change the color. Then I have to look for my third shape. I will make it visible. I will double click on the layer thumbnail also. I will make sure I give them the same color. And I'll click on OK. Alright. So this shape 3, I will make it invisible. The shape 5, I will also make it invisible. I have to close this plus, and I don't need that again. I'll press Ctrl plus to zoom out. Ctrl plus to zoom out. All right, so at this point here, I need to fall on this particular shape right here, and I'll go back to my tools bar, and then I'll have to click and hold down. I'll make sure I choose my pen tools. Having choose my pen tools, and then I'll come to the layer panel right here. I will make a new layer. So having make a new layer, I will now make some parts. From the top, from the point right here, I'll press Shift key on my keyboard and drag it out. And I'll come to the top right here. And I'll make sure I locate this point. I'll press Shift key on my keyboard and take it out this way. And this way, I'll make sure I come this way. And we have to close the part right here. Okay. And we press letter V to the move to. So that is that. So we can follow on this particular shape right here. So then we can press Ctrl minus to zoom in, Ctrl minus to zoom in. So we have it this way. So what we can do right here is to locate this particular shape, and we have to locate shape 2. And we have shape 2 and shape 4 to be visible, shape 4 to be invisible. So we have 3 shapes to be visible, which is this one, shape 1. Then we have to press Ctrl key on our keyboard and select the shape 2. Ctrl key on our keyboard and select the shape 6. Then we have to right click, and then we have to look for merge shape. Then it become 1. Okay. Then we can adjust the shape. All right, so we can look for shape 4 to become active. Then the shape 5 can also become active. Then we have to take shape 5 over the shape 6 overlay. Then this shape right here, we have to take it down a little bit. All right. We have to adjust it out this way. Okay. So next thing we need to do is to look for shape 3. Then we have to select the shape 3, and we drag it here. Then we have to press Ctrl plus to zoom out. Ctrl plus to zoom out. All right, so we have to look for shape 3, and we press Ctrl key down. We look for shape 3 and shape 5. Press Ctrl key and select shape 3. We have to drag it out a little. Next thing we need to do is to look for this particular big shape right here, shape 6. Right click on the shape 6, and we make sure we rasterize the layer. So having rasterized the layer, you have to select you have to come to the toolbar right here, click and hold down. Make sure you choose your rectangular marquee, and then we're going to cut at the top right here just to maintain a straight neat shape. Press the delete key on your keyboard and press Ctrl D to deselect. So you're going to have it in a neat manner. Press Ctrl minus to zoom in, Ctrl minus to zoom in. So the next thing we can do here is to bring in picture into our banner. So what you have to do is to go to the home tab right here. And you go to file. Then you have to look for place embedded. So the next thing, after you input the picture, you can press Ctrl plus to zoom out. Now we need to connect this, we need to match this shape together. We have to press H on my keyboard, and we take it to the top a little bit. So we have to go back to our toolbar right here, and we have to click and hold down. So we have to choose pen tools. Then we have to look for, we come back to the layer, we come to the background layer right here, and then we have to come to the top right here. We press Shift key on our keyboard and make sure we come here. Then Shift key on our keyboard and come to this point. Shift key on our keyboard, we come to the top right here. Then Shift key on our keyboard, and we make sure we close the part at this point here. Okay, so next thing we can do here is to double click on the shape, on the thumbnail, and we fill it with the same color, and then we hit on OK. We can press Ctrl minus to zoom in, and we have it this way. Okay, so next thing we can do here is to add appropriate color. So we can start from the top right here. We come to the layer thumbnail, and we double click on the layer thumbnail. Now we pick the right color. So the color code I'm going to use for this point, you're going to see it right here. So this is the color code I use here. Okay, then we have to click on OK. Then I have to select this particular shape, and we double click on the layer thumbnail. We choose this color here, and then click on OK. We click on this one right here. We double click on the layer thumbnail, and we choose this color also, and we click on OK. So we have to fall back on this particular first color shape, and we come to the blending mode right here. We make sure we choose overlay. Okay, so you can press Ctrl minus to zoom in. Then we have to fill color at the top right here. We select on that. We double click on the layer thumbnail, and we have to choose this color right here. Boom. So next thing we can do right here, we can select this particular shape right here. Then we make sure we come to the layer. We right click on the layer. We make sure we click on duplicate layer. So we can make this bottom background and click on OK. So we have to take this layer, Ctrl T to open the transform tools. Then we have to take this layer down below here. Then we have to right click on the shape, and we flip to vertical. We right click and we flip to horizontal. So we have it this way. Then we have to adjust it and make it look this way. Okay, and we press enter key on our keyboard. So we need to change this color right here. We come to the layer right here. We double click on the layer thumbnail, and we're going to change the color. So this is the color code we are using for this point here. So 087 B9, and then we click on OK. So we have to select on this. We double click on the layer thumbnail. So we have to change the color to this. Boom, and then we click on OK. All right, so the next thing we need to do is to select this particular layer right here, and we create a new layer. So then we have to go back to our toolbar. We click and hold down, and we sure you choose your rectangle, and we make a tiny rectangle at this point here. So this tiny rectangle, we have to change the color. So you have to double click on the layer thumbnail this time around, and choose this color. Then you click on OK. Next thing we want to do here is to press Ctrl J to make a duplicate, and then Ctrl T to open a transform tools. So this duplicate one right here, we have to drag it down a little bit. Then we come to the top right here, and we press enter key on our keyboard. Then we have to come back to the layer right here. We double click on the layer thumbnail, and then we change the color to this green. Good. Then we have to click on OK. So we can close this point here. We don't need that angle again, and we have it in this way. So the next thing at this point here is to add text to our banner. So let's see.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?